Oh, glory to Jesus Christ, and welcome to St. Cyril Methodius Orthodox Church in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm Father Gregory the pastor. It's good to be able to spend some time with you this afternoon in our little online adult ed class. Today, I want to talk to you about questions. There's a marvelous quote from Richard Feynman, the Nobel Prize winning physicist, who said, I would rather have unanswered questions than answers that cannot be questioned. A lot of times those of us who are Christians, especially who are those of us Orthodox Christians, believe that we're not allowed to ask questions about the faith. And I want to talk to you about that, about what it means to say that there are no questions that we cannot ask, or there's no answers that we cannot question, to use Feynman's phrase. But before I do that, I just ask you, if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, on YouTube, if you would subscribe to our channel, please, that'd be great. If you're watching on Facebook, either through St. Cyril Methodius Ukrainian Orthodox Mission Facebook page or my own personal page, a little thumbs up or a like or something, just so I know what's going on, just so I know you're there. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about questioning faith. There's a difference between questioning the faith, a question that's born out of suspicion or distrust, and a question which is sincerely born out of either faith or a lack of faith. We know this this distinction very well in our own personal lives. The former, that question that's born from suspicion, is the kind of question that tends to alienate. It seems as if those kinds of questions are meant to trap or manipulate or humiliate others. And we certainly don't like that when people ask us questions that, the attorneys would say are leading questions. They're trying to get us to reveal something or to give a particular kind of answer. Those kinds of questions are not helpful when we're talking about the life of faith, because they're simply not helpful in living our life together. They undermine trust, and because they're born of mistrust. But questions about the faith, or when I ask, I don't understand this or that, I want to understand more about the Holy Trinity or the Incarnation, or why the Orthodox Church only marries heterosexual couples, or why is it that you don't practice open communion? These are questions that we can and should ask, and we should feel free in ourselves to ask them, but also the people of whom we ask these questions, especially clergy, really should communicate to us that it's okay to ask these kinds of questions, even if they are on some level challenging. These questions about the faith are how we come to understand more fully what it is we believe as Orthodox Christians. One of the things that I like best about being an Orthodox Christian is that we have an apophatic tradition. And by apophatic, we mean that, in the words of St. Gregory Palamas, my patron, that God is beyond our knowing. God is more than what we know about him. But the saint also goes on to say that God is not only beyond our knowing, he's beyond our unknowing as well. God is larger than what I know about him or what I don't know about him, because as the creator of the universe, he is the author of the human intellect. And so he utterly transcends it. St. Dionysius the Areopagite says is that, God is beyond his creation in the way that the mouth of the river, or the source of the river, is beyond the river. God is the one from whom all these things flow. And so he's greater than what I know or don't know about him. And sometimes, I try to reduce God to my knowledge of him or to my doubts. But then St. Gregory goes on to say that not only is God beyond our knowing and our unknowing, he's beyond knowing and knowing, but God is not only beyond our knowing, but our unknowing as well. We know something, but in a way superior to negation. There is this way of knowing God that is beyond factual knowledge or knowledge about God or our doubts, and that's the way of love. And so we come back to questions. If I love you, I'm going to ask questions from you. I'm going to be interested in you. I'm going to want to know more about you. When we ask questions about the faith, when we ask questions about Jesus Christ or the practice of the church. These are things that we do to help us come to know and love God better, come to know and love his church better. So you should always feel free to ask questions. And especially if you're a priest, you should always welcome questions. In fact, as one of my parishioners said one time, "Oh, ask Father Gregory anything you want. He loves questions." I do, because questions are an invitation to love, to communion. Well, it is a little after 4 o'clock here, and I've got Vespers in about an hour. Thanks for spending time with me this afternoon. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them, because that's what it's about. And my wife made a comment. She gave me a little clapping. Yay, thank you, Mary. But I got to go. I got to get ready for Vespers, and I got to finish my cup of coffee from Panera, my cup of decaffeinated, like 95% decaffeinated coffee. All right. God bless everyone, and see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.